Hello guys, just another project update. Yesterday I had mentioned that I was doing some stuff that was just kind of a set it and forget it type stuff, and that is dyeing paper. These papers were actually done with onion skins. So it's pretty simple. Peel an onion, just the skins, stick it in water, boil it, get a hard rolling boil going. And some people will leave it and let it boil for like 20 minutes and then let it cool down and use it that way. I prefer to like get it to a really hard boil for just a couple minutes. I take it off the heat, move it off to the side and let it sit overnight. And I'll take a clear spoon, like a plastic spoon, and check the color. And if I want it darker, I'll repeat it. I'll do it, turn it back on, bring it back to a full boil, boil it for a couple minutes, and then again, set it aside, this time just long enough to cool, because onion skins don't hold a lot of pigment. So there's only so many times you can boil the same onion skins before they just, you're not going to get any more pigment out of them. So I did that with an onion that was growing in my pantry. I forgot I had bought onions, and then I looked in there and I was looking for something else, and tucked in behind some stuff I saw something green, which there shouldn't be anything green in my pantry. And lo and behold, it was an onion. So I pulled the skins off, threw the rest of the onion out, boiled the skins, and then here we are. So I'm just going to start with these. These are cut-offs from some papers that, whoops, I have to cut that out. So I had stuff like this that was printed already. And so I coffee dyed, or onion skin dyed them. And so these are cut-offs from around, like, this was an 8.5 by 11 page. So it's, the big cut-offs of it. So these will go into my little box down here to my left of my neutrals for future use. It's funny, spent all that time doing neutral work just to turn around and create more. That's how it works in the craft world. So as I was dyeing papers, I have a whole stack, probably maybe 3 inches tall, of different types of placemats and fabrics and lace that I use specifically for dyeing. I would show you my pile, but it's currently sitting over there with the beet juice. If you didn't catch my short, you'll see that beautiful color that beets give you when you boil them. But I have my pan cooking over there with a whole stack of paper. And so all of my placemats are currently in use on that project over there. So I will show you what you get by layering. And what I do is I do 2 pages, so that way, you put a placemat down, you put your paper down. Well, if you put the placemat on top of that same page, you're likely to get some bleed through of each design, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But if you really like the way a specific design looks, you don't necessarily want that bleed through of the other placemat coming through because you only had a single paper. So I tend to do 2 at a time, and then another placemat, then 2 pieces of paper, another placemat, 2 at a time. So that way, as the liquid is absorbing, it's soaking into both sets of placemats, and it's actually coloring 2 pages at the same time versus only doing 1 at a time. I hope that makes sense. But what you get, and I'm going to stand up just so I make sure that I get these in frame. Got my new chair today, which makes me very, very happy. But it's got a footrest on it, so I have to move the footrest out of the way before I can get up. So this is a lace doily. You can see some patterning in there. And this was another one. I have two of the same one. I think this is the front. Like, I can't tell which is the front. But you can see on the back, see the patterns come through. So if I had another stencil directly on this, I would have that other stencil overlapping this bleed through from these ones. So that's why I double up. So there's that one. This one was on the bottom of the pan. So that's what these really dark things, you know, it's picking up from the pan. And I had, rather than laying paper down first, I actually laid the placemats down first. So that way the papers were actually a little bit elevated. So it gives this highlighted effect. There's that one. And there's the back. So again, I mean, you get to pick and choose which side you like best. This was another silicone placemat. So this is the front. You can see all the design there. In the back, pretty boring on that one. This is the plastic, like, shelf stuff that you know, so your glasses don't slide. But I love it. I loved just that, the grid effect that you get. And again, this is the front, this is the back, but both sides are beautiful. Same placemat. You can see the grids there. But this one obviously soaked up more of the liquid than this one. You can see the difference. This one, you can see that grid pattern, but it's much more subtle than this one. I can't tell which placemat this one was. That really didn't get a whole lot of ink, but it's kind of cool. Nonetheless. I haven't actually looked through all of these. I like dried them and stacked them. These were a leaf. They were big leaf placemats, and I cut them in half, so I have 4. So I can get them fit into my pan a little bit better. I can twist them and maneuver them around. But you can see these nice little leaf patternings here. Right. In the back. Another silicone placemat. Not sure which one though. I can't. It's hard to tell in that one. This one was just at the top. The top of the pile will always be darker than everything else because whatever your colorant is, it oxidizes. So if you don't want that, how do I want to say that? I like them oxidized. I always use the top cover. But some people use those as like collage fodder because they don't like how dark it tends to get. But when you're dyeing stuff, you usually will want something on top to kind of like offset that oxidation process. This is that leaf placemat again. Didn't soak up very much of the onion water, but still pretty cool effect. So these are legal papers, well, 11 by 17s. And I also did a whole stack of index cards that are not 3x5, 4x7s. I use the same placemats. This one, for whatever reason, really blended. I mean, I guess it got lifted. You see just a little tiny itty bitty bit here of that lace doily. Same with this one. Very little bit of it. Most of it just was a bleed through. I really love the way these turned out, though. This is a lace, oh, what do you call those? They're like privacy things, you know, to cover up cleavage on women's dresses. This one is actually, I bought from the bridal section. And it's designed to go either over the front and cover the cleavage, or it can be sewn on the back to cover the back of the wedding dress. But it creates this beautiful, beautiful designs. This is part of a table runner. Again, it's lace, and it is almost the entire size of my baking sheet. So laying these in this way, this is one edge of it. So even though it did miss this corner and didn't dye it, I kind of like it. And again, I stacked these this way, same as I did with the paper, which is why the lined part didn't really get colored. There's that one. I love that. It's so beautiful. It's fun. I keep like feeling it like it's going to be textured. There's some more of the table runner. I find this interesting too, where the 3 little white dots where the water didn't get. And there's another corner of that same table runner. Everything's going to get mixed up in here now because they didn't come out in the same order, or they didn't dry in the same order they came out. This is like I'm not exactly sure what it is. I have a big sheet of material, and it's fabric, not fabric. I can't think what I'm trying to say. But it's woven, and it is cloth, so it soaks up a lot of the dyes, which is why you get all this over here. But again, you can see where it didn't pick up. So there's the white. It's kind of cool. More of that table runner. So this is that lace doily from the very beginning. You can see just, you know, just a little bit of that patterning here. I'm just going to call this netting because my brain is not identifying it right now. There's another one of those. And another one. And another one. Some more of that lace doily. Another bit of lace here. See that netting? I mean, it looks cool. Table runner. Table runner. Table runner. Some more of that netty stuff. More table runner. More net. Runner. Oh. My new chair came today, and rather than wait for my husband like I should have, I spent 2 hours putting it together myself. I should have waited because now my back is killing me. This is kind of cool because it like blurred. Almost like it ran. And I love the differentiation in this corner. More runner. Get to some of my other ones. Or maybe I didn't use my other ones. Let's see. Oh, there we go. There's some of my other laces. There's this one. And that one. Yeah. And as always, I always do a first layer straight down onto the metal. Because as I've said before, I really love how it pulls in these brown rust spots. It's funny. I have a video that a series that I'm watching. It's a collaboration between many junk journalists for tips, tricks, and hacks. And it's every day this month. I started it and then thought, oh, let me record this video real quick so that I can start getting it uploaded. And I'm going to have to restart the video because I have no idea what she's making. But that is onion dyed paper. And as soon as that big old stack that's sitting over there of the beet dyeing paper, as soon as it is all dry, I will upload another video and show you how that all turned out. It's a beautiful color. I love it. I'm not baking it this time, so hopefully it stays that beet red instead of turning like some weird grayish color. So in the meantime, enjoy, hit that like button, subscribe, make a comment if you so choose, and I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.